Hello my fellow swordsmen and swordswomen, I am Jonathan, also known as the PC Genie. Now I'm just doing a quick video today to mention the fact that I was actually informed by one of my friends from my Historical European Martial Arts Club on Facebook that they're including mortuary swords on BlackFencer, which is great. If you don't know, I have done a review to help you understand more about the BlackFencer swords, but they're basically synthetic training swords. And their usual lines include more obvious items like arming swords in one hand, two-handed long swords. They include different designs as well, like your larger Zweihanders and Montantes, as well as your more regular sort of Federschwerts, things like that. So different ranges and things. And now they have actually included mortuary swords. So amongst those, you've got pretty much what you're seeing in my hand now. So it's a basket hilt sword. It's a very early version. We're talking about the English Civil War, so the mid-1600s, rather than the later basket hilt swords, which are more the 1700s and 1800s. And the key sorts of features are this sort of a broader cutting blade. This handwave replica I've already reviewed in another video doesn't really do it justice. It's quite narrow bladed for an actual mortuary sword, and the fullering isn't as serious. I mean, if you look here, and you'll see it's got a deep fuller, but it's, you know, it doesn't have multiple. It only goes across that much of the blade, which normally it goes almost the entire length. This is more true to the original. So you see 180-degree basket protection. You don't see a sort of just a knuckle bow or a sort of a plate that covers a right-handed person or a left-handed person. It covers this full amount. So it is, in that sense, a bit similar to sort of a Scottish claymore type of, backsword, similar thing to that. Yeah, double-edged, straight-bladed, and besides that, you've got, you get certain distinctive features like this sort of, you don't have swirling kind of swept hilt effects or just your simple plates of certain sabres. You've got this sort of effect, these bars, almost like the grills on Society for Creative Anachronism helmets, those grates that you have. It's that kind of effect, and this sort of little lip at the back which curls up. You'll see that. So you got that sort of effect, and I'll show you sort of a few pictures now while I describe it. But it's one of my favourite types of sword because it's that nice kind of basket hilt sword. So if you want to practice sabre or earlier backsword types of things from the treatises, it's very good. And of course, you can do various techniques, including with your hand sword. You can do various cuts, ripostes, and whatnot that you do with those later swords rather than earlier swords. But its dynamics actually make it function in a similar way to something like an arming sword. So you can use those types of techniques as well with it. It is essentially a sword that is halfway between a medieval arming sword and a later sabre. It is the midway point between that, in terms of time period and in terms of design. So it's nice to see that these sorts of more unusual designs are being reflected in things like training swords, because it is a bit annoying when you look at things like the Rawlings ones, and you've got your more common types of swords, which are great for general practice, but as you get more into stuff like HEMA, it's nice to have more specific swords to practice with, but of course ones that aren't steel, or especially ones that aren't sharp. And this is great to fill that gap in the market, so thanks BlackFencer, I might well buy one at some point, who knows. And until next time, I shall see you guys later. Ta-ra for now. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and you can see more similar stuff, and better.